It started back in January of '72, and even before the Engineers kicked off for the first time, there was a new look represented by this man. The school dipped into its alumni ranks and selected a new head coach. William Marcus Fulcher became only the 5th head football coach in the history of Georgia Tech. For Bill Fulcher, it was the fulfillment of a lifetime ambition and dream. It had been 20 years earlier that Bill Fulcher first felt the sod of Grant Field beneath his freshman feet. And now, at the age of 38, and with many accomplishments behind him, he was back.
Hi, men. Let's go.
Long before practice started, Bill Fulcher was arriving at work. He had much to do before getting his team together for spring practice. A head coach's schedule is tough. His days start early and end late, especially when he's in his first year at a new job. Throughout the winter months, Bill Fulcher was arriving with his homework done from the night before. He knew every day there would be people who would have to see him, and a lot more who would like to. Bill Fulcher personifies a new breed of head coach, young, handsome, articulate, aware of what's going on around him, and aware that his days will be crammed with work. It's no easy job. In the college football of the '70s, a head coach has to be a lot more than just a knowledgeable football man. He has to be part businessman, part PR man, part psychologist. He has to get along if he is to be a winner. The people he has to worry about make up a long, seemingly endless list. As Fulcher surveyed the situation in the winter of 1972, he knew he had to surround himself with a talented group of assistant coaches if Tech was to successfully continue competing in big-time college football. Among the first things achieved by Coach Fulcher was obtaining the services of former Tech All-American and All-Pro linebacker Maxie Baughan as head defensive coach. Maxie, long a favorite at the Flats, had earned great renown as one of the most knowledgeable defensive men in football in his years with the Philadelphia Eagles and as captain of the LA Rams. His selection was to prove outstanding. Offense was to be a major hallmark of Coach Fulcher's first season at Tech, and he engaged former Alabama star Steve Sloan to direct the Engineers' offensive unit. Sloan, one of the most popular men to ever play in the Southeast, quarterbacked 2 consecutive national championship teams for Alabama, and later played pro ball in the National Football League. Added to Baughan and Sloan was an outstanding staff of coaches like Dick Bestwick, Franklin Brooks, Bud Casey, Rex Dockery, Jerry Glanville, Bill Lewis, Jim Luck, Bob Williams, Jack Williams. During the spring and summer months of '72, this talented group of dedicated men began forging the Fulcher style of football, a style that was to capture the imagination of football fans all over the United States before the final gun of the '72 season had sounded. Every head football coach hopes to make his debut a successful one. And for Coach Fulcher and his staff, the first opponent was the toughest possible on the Tech schedule, the powerful Tennessee Volunteers on opening day, September 9th. A national television audience and a packed house at Grant Field looked on for the season opener. Despite all the hard work and the planning, all the pieces had not yet been fit together.
The first half was exciting and close. The Vols were leading 6-0 on 2 field goals when junior Mike McKenzie intercepts. And the Jacket defensive back from Baldwin, Pennsylvania, looked like he had a chance to go all the way. But he's caught from behind, but still it's a fine return, good for a total of 63 yards. McKenzie's fine play sets up a Cam Bonifay field goal as the Macon junior makes it 6-3. Tennessee pulls some razzle-dazzle for this score. The halfback pass with Rudder throwing to Howard. Now Tech tries a little razzle of its own, but some of the dazzle is missing as McShann tossed to Robinson, who passed to Owings for an apparent Yellow Jacket touchdown. A disappointment. The play was ruled illegal, and the touchdown was called back. The Volunteers broke it open in the second half. Quarterback Valbuena passes to Love. And it's a 20-yard TD. Final score in the opener, Tennessee 34, Tech 3.
The pressure on Fulcher was enormous, and the disappointment of the Tennessee game was great. So it was back to the drawing boards and a continuation of the hard work behind the scenes. Coach Fulcher expressed it in the locker room after the game when he said, "If something positive can come out of a devastating defeat, we should learn a great deal from this game. I think we all know now what we must do." And they did. The following week, Coach Fulcher's Yellow Jackets had put together the pieces. He showed some of the explosive offense that fans would get used to throughout the season. The opponent was South Carolina. The game gave Grant Field fans their first look at sophomore Randy Rhino, who was to become an All-American before the season was over.
Gamecocks in punt formation. Now watch for Randy Rhino, number 23. Turning in a brilliant, record-setting punt return on this play. As the exciting sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, leaves a trail of Gamecocks behind excellent blocking and some great field running and goes 96 yards. Not only a record, but a Yellow Jacket TD. Eddie McShann at the throttle, rolling left, looking for wide receiver Mike Owen. And the big fellow leaps over a defender, and it's good for a touchdown. Punt formation again. Randy Rhino waiting. Taking the ball deep in his own territory, back around the 25. Goes to the sideline. And another great display of Rhino's punt return ability. Greg Horn takes the last second pitch out. Goes all the way down to the Gamecocks' 4-yard line. Horn, a junior from Atlanta's Murphy High, takes it the rest of the way. And another Yellow Jacket TD. With the game on ice, backup quarterback Tommy Turrentine, a junior from Durham, North Carolina, takes it in. Final score, Tech a big winner, 34-6.
It was after this game that Coach Fulcher described for the first time a phrase that was to be used time and time again, that his Tech team was a team of character. This phrase was to be used by others throughout the season as Tech relied on determination and character to stop more powerful teams as the season went along. An example of this determination and character was shown in the third game of the season against perennial Big Ten powerhouse Michigan State. The game was played in East Lansing before the largest home opening crowd in Michigan State's history. Over 80,000 people found out on Tech's first offensive play of the game that the Jackets were ready.
McShann puts the ball in the air. And brilliant sophomore Jimmy Robinson outrunning everybody as he pulls it in for an opening game-breaking 77-yard touchdown run. Kevin McNamara makes one of his fine runs of the year. Going 15 yards. McNamara, a senior from Fort Lauderdale, gives Tech a 2-touchdown margin. Eddie McShann finds favorite receiver Robinson again, and it's for another big score. This one for 36 yards, making it a 21-3 Georgia Tech lead. Sophomore Bo Bruce from Avondale Estates was in the state backfield all afternoon. Steve Putnell and Tim Macy were outstanding, as throughout the afternoon they beat a bigger state team into the tartan turf. Rome, Georgia's Gary Carden led this stop. Jacket cheerleaders were certainly happy about the Tech defense. State pitch out, and junior Whit Wisman from Louisville, Kentucky makes a great move, as again the Engineers plug up the state offense. Another pitch out backfires as Randy Rhino stops the play. Causes this fumble, and a raft of Jackets are there to recover. In this game, brilliant sophomore Joe Harris was around the ball all afternoon, as he was most of the season. Maxie Bond's defensive unit overpowered the heavier Spartans, and Tech's offense scored 3 times to give the Jackets a great 21-16 upset.
As the happy Yellow Jackets boarded to fly back to Atlanta, they were aware that they had begun to make believers of all those who questioned the ability of this Tech team. With 2 victories in a row under their belts, the Yellow Jackets were returning to Atlanta to take on an undefeated Southwest Conference opponent. Surprising Rice was the opponent in what was to be one of the wildest and woolliest football games ever seen. For senior quarterback Eddie McShann, it was another blue ribbon day as he threw 5 touchdown passes and was named National Back of the Week.
Quarterback Eddie McShann back, sets up, looking for Robinson. Finds him, and it's good for a 22-yard touchdown and a 7-0 Tech lead. This time McShann looking for Jim Owings. And the junior from Falls Church, Virginia, grabs it for a 25-yard scoring strike, making it 14-0. Rice gets back in the game on a Gad to Buck scoring toss, and it's 14-7. After a safety, McShann goes for the big bomb. And it is just that. Pumps again, finds Atlantan Jimmy Robinson, 55 yards, and a 21-9 Tech lead. Now some alley-oop by Rice. Quarterback lobs the ball, and a great catch by Swersey for the Rice TD, making it 21-16 at halftime. In the second half, Rice got 2 touchdowns, giving the Owls a 33-21 lead. So now Tech starts a remarkable comeback as McShann finds Owings. And Jim chugs and lugs the ball. Won't give up. Gets it all the way down to the Rice 1. Then quarterback McShann hits junior Tommy Lang for the score, making it 33-28. After a Rice field goal made it 36-28, Tech completed a miracle last-minute comeback. McShann to Owings for the score, and it's 36-34. Needing the 2-point conversion, McShann looking. It's Owings again, grabbing the ball in the pass from McShann, and Tech has rallied to pull out a thrilling 36-36 tie in what has to rate as one of the most exciting and exhausting games ever at Grant Field for players, coaches, and fans alike.
Clemson was Tech's next opponent, and it proved to be a relatively easy victory for the Yellow Jackets as they were to go on to their 3rd win of the season.
McShann looking toward the end zone. Finds Jimmy Robinson, and it's good for a touchdown. Sophomore Jimmy Robinson, only 5'9" and weighing but 160, was to set a new touchdown passes caught record for Tech. And his future is brilliant. The duo gets together again. McShann to Robinson for yet another score as Robbie splits 2 defenders and goes in for the Tech touchdown. Clemson back to pass. Junior Gary Faulkner from Gray, Georgia. At the midfield stripe, gathers it in. Goes down the sideline, following his blockers well. And he goes in for the Georgia Tech TD. The scoreboard shows it as an easy Tech win this time, 31-9.